Welcome to this AFC South Show 192. Got our preview to free agency coming up. I'm Andrew with the Titans Table for Two podcast. To my right, you got Justin, co-host of Unstable, aka Kingmaker underscore DFF on all platforms. What you got going on, Justin?
Oh, buddy, man, just the phone's been blowing up today with all the news. I can't wait to get into it. There's some
Yeah.
big names staying, big names going.
hmm
Happy and excited to see how the next couple of days are going to unfold.
Absolutely. Up at the top right, you got Isaiah. All the adjectives that Curtis throws out when he's here for him. The host of Third and Teal. What's going on, Isaiah?
Oh, just hanging around, doing things, updating Beyonce's laptop because she's
That's his
mechanically
laptop. Don't let him lie
inclined.
to you.
Yes, I love.
Yeah, that's a little suspect, man.
Yeah,
A little suspect.
hey, listen. Yes. Anyways, yeah, I'm doing good. Ready for this stuff. We have a lot more cap space than I expected, so I'm ready to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And at my right above me, you got Mike filling in for Curtis, part of that Real Texas Team Show. Catch all these shows on YouTube and other platforms. Subscribe. What's going on, Mike?
Nothing much.
Looking
I'm loving
spiffy.
everything that's got going on. Regardless of anything we get into today, the AFC South is definitely gonna be better than it was last year. That ain't hard,
That's
but
not saying much when you're at rock bottom. It doesn't.
it can't get much worse.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, but it can't. No.
Yeah, we can start
Bro, you
out
remember
by
that NFC South at one point? The NFC South was just god awful, so it can get worse. So let me not.
Oh yeah. They went from worst to first pretty quickly, but yeah, a lot of big news happened today. DK Metcalf getting traded to the Steelers. A lot of teams keeping their players. This bump in cap space has definitely helped out a lot with people being able to re-sign their
Yeah.
players.
Even
What do you think?
players like we didn't think, like Aaron Jones staying with Minnesota. Didn't really
I
see
saw
that one
that coming
coming.
from nowhere.
I
Did you
kind of,
really? Okay.
I kind of thought it might happen just because he had a good year for him.
Yeah. He had a productive year. I just figured, like, okay, he's older. Maybe they'll look to move on, someone younger, maybe draft someone late, but are they going to be the same production as Aaron Jones could be, at least for another year? So I can see where it makes sense.
It's a
But then I
2 year,
could
$20
also see
million
the,
deal on that one. I didn't look at the
10 million.
number. 2 year 20, so 10 million a year. But usually those 2 year deals are really like 1 year deals where you can
yeah,
get out after
Yeah.
1 year. Most of these
yeah,
contracts towards the end are like, okay,
yeah. I'm
it's
sure they
10,
talked
it's
to him and
10
said, hey, look, bro,
guaranteed.
like, you're a little older. You could drop off tomorrow, and we need a way out.
Yeah.
The one,
But the thing I thought about it was with that offensive line in Minnesota, I thought damn near anybody you put back there could give you 1,000 if you kept giving them the ball.
Yeah.
yeah, I maybe with looking like there's going to be a change in quarterback there. Doesn't look like Darnold's coming back.
Almost
Uh,
certain. Yeah.
yeah, maybe they're like trying to keep everything the same as much as possible because you're changing QB.
Yeah,
Especially if
not a
you're going
lot
to go to
changed in 1
JJ.
year.
I don't know what the plan is to go to JJ. I've heard Daniel Jones maybe staying there. I've heard Aaron
Oh
Rodgers
shit.
going there, which would be the funniest thing ever if he followed the same
Oh my
exact career
God.
path as Brett Favre. you know,
It's in the
so
cards.
it's in the cards.
You do know
So
if that was to happen like that, everybody would be looking at Jordan Love like,
when you go into the Jets, dog,
Yeah, exactly.
10
Yeah.
more
The,
years and
ne-
he's
the
there,
next
dog.
quarterback, the next top quarterback they draft, Jordan Love better watch out.
I say they're good about drafting their replacements 2 or 3 years early and giving them a chance to
yeah,
sit and learn. I
it
think
looks
that
good. It
ideally
looks like
that's
it
how
worked.
you'd want to do it, right? Rather than being stuck in QB purgatory like
Well, and Love needed
most
that
of our
though
teams
because
are.
he didn't have a lot of. I mean, he needed to sit, man,
Oh
which is
yeah.
good for him. It worked out really good for him.
Mhm.
Whether Aaron Rodgers liked him drafting him, I mean, first off, bro, they don't need to talk to you. You're not the Packers. They don't need to ask your permission. He was so pissy and act like a child, but that's Aaron Rodgers, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry about that, bro.
No, you're good.
No,
Okay, man, get it off
you're
your
not a
chest,
fan
dog.
of the dark room thing either, huh?
Tell me how you really feel.
No, but I mean, Devontae Adams going to the Rams. I think that pretty much would say Cooper Cup's gone.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
know,
he's definitely going.
yeah,
because you
we
got
still get
such a young guy in Puka. Why would you keep
Puka, and
going?
then they re-signed Tutu, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
and then
think
they
they
still have
re-signed
Jordan
Tutu.
Whittington, who did well when he got his
Demarcus
chances.
Robinson, is he still there? He had a decent couple games last year. But I
I
mean, if
feel
you're
like
running
they just signed him
Puka and
last
He's a
year.
free agent.
Devontae,
I
Is
think.
he?
is he a free agent, Robinson? Okay, but I mean, there's not many better top twos in the league. I don't think if you got
Pretty
uh,
good.
Puka and Devontae. But
But I'm
Chase and Higgins
I'm saying it now. They're going to see a drop off
from
because
Adams.
Yeah, because one of the things that Cooper Kupp did that Devontae Adams will never do is block. Devontae won't.
Yeah,
Cooper blocks his ass off. That's why if the Texans were to call him and can get him on some cheap change,
I can't wait to get him in Jacksonville.
yeah, I can see that.
He
Texas
apparently
just got the best guy. They got Kirk, bro.
The big
if he stays healthy, he'll be a good addition.
I'll say this: I actually can see Kirk doing better than what Stephon Diggs did.
Yes,
yeah, so he's a lot more. He's a lot more of a role player at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even when he came to Jacksonville, like he wasn't like trying to like tell him, "Oh, I need all the targets," because Evan Ingram got all the targets.
Well, he's never been the man. He was the man for a year. One year, he was the number one receiver. He was never the man for Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
He had good games and stuff. Yeah.
He played with Fitz. Yeah. He was never the man. So he's going to fit in, if nothing else.
We've talked about the wide receiver market kind of resetting a year after year. And Kirk was a big part of that.
Yes.
When y'all signed him.
No. Hold on. We've talked about this. You weren't around. You don't know. You don't know. It was the greatest trade deal that ever happened.
Everybody says it.
So nobody wants to talk about the fact that Mike Williams signed a bigger contract 3 days before my trade. No, literally, Mike Williams signed his contract 3 days before, making like $2 million more per season. But everybody talks about Christian Kirk.
I think people believed in Mike more than Kirk.
I mean,
I don't know why.
I don't know why.
He was a bigger prospect coming out when he came out.
Mike Williams.
He was a top. Yeah,
Mike Williams hasn't played a whole season since he started.
But he played with Deshaun Watson at Clemson though too. When they had that run.
Yeah, he sure as hell did.
Yeah,
no, but,
he's been in longer than you think.
He came out with Corey Davis in 2017.
Oh, poor Corey Davis. People wanted Corey Davis. I know
he was a solid receiver, but he was never what he was supposed to be. No, he stepped away for personal issues. I think he's trying to make a comeback though. Now you talk about somebody that was willing to block. That dude was willing to block.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry loved that dude on the outside. He'd be down the field blocking everybody.
It's because he knew he couldn't catch.
Corey Davis like 6'4", 235.
Yeah, he was a big guy. But one signing that kind of surprised me a little bit was Nick Bolton. I thought the Chiefs might let him go just to save money to fix that offensive line, and I think he could have gotten more than the $15 million a year he got.
Yeah, he's their best player on defense right now.
The Chiefs
Jones, them three.
He was the heart of their defense.
Yeah, I mean, you play the middle of it for sure. But I just figured I thought he might test the market. I think he could have gotten more than the $15 million he got a year.
And somebody would have overpaid.
I mean, maybe took that hometown discount. Yeah. One for Titans fans, Harold Landry going to the Patriots. I don't think that's a surprise at all. Going back to join Vrabel, I think they overpaid a little bit too, but whatever. That's not me to say.
Vrabel knows him, so players that if they like playing for a coach before, like they'll easily come in. So I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
He might actually be able to get something out of him again too, like having Harold Landry being the guy that we thought he was going to be. Because I was terrified.
Harold is solid, and he's a good player, really. I mean, he's more of a volume sack getter. He's not coming in for 50% of the snaps and getting 3 sacks. He's solid. He can go 85% of the snaps. He's out there all the time, and that's why he gets 10 sacks. It's not because he goes and gets 10 sacks. He kind of cleans the plays up and stuff. But he's versatile. He can drop into coverage and stuff. He wasn't worth the money we were paying him, though. Especially in a team that we're looking to rebuild. Call it what it is,
Y'all were planning for him to be a true dominant pass rusher, and that
just wasn't. That's not what it is. So dominant pass rusher though, $40 million a year for Myles Garrett.
Bro, when I saw that, I knew for a fact J.J. Watt was sitting over there like, well, shit.
yeah.
I think
Micah Parsons up there like this right now, dog. He's like, ooh, love that. Love it.
Yeah, but he's got the Jerry Jones effect over there. So Micah's got a different problem to worry about.
I said now, if Jerry Jones isn't going to pay him 40,
he's leaving.
Micah's going to be a New York Jet.
A Jet? Yeah.
You think a Jet?
Who else is going to pay him $40 million?
Does he hate
I
losing?
love Michael Parsons,
I mean,
but
does
I
he
ain't
like
paying him
losing?
$40 million.
Dude, Trey Henderson's probably rubbing his hands together too.
Oh,
He
hell
ain't
yeah.
getting $40 million.
Looking for a
Zach
trade.
Leary?
He's not getting $40 million.
But he's not Myles
He
Garrett.
led the
either.
league in sacks last year,
Well,
17 and a half.
Yeah, but
that's 1
Not-
year.
He did.
I mean, how many did he have?
But
17 and a half.
I mean, that's how many Josh Allen had last year, and he was like 4th. So I mean, it's just a year-to-year thing.
Yeah.
But let me remind y'all, he plays for the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah, I know.
They're known for stupidly paying people.
That one quarterback that came from Houston, they really screwed up there.
He must have really touched their heart or something. I don't know.
I look at the roster every day and I'll be like, thank you, Deshaun. Thank you.
No, that's 2 back-to-back years of 17 and a half for Henderson. Looking at his stats, back-to-back years.
He's been nice. Crosby, how much did he end up getting?
He got 35 and a half.
Oof.
So
I know his agent's kicking himself.
Should have waited. I can't believe. I'm surprised they went to 40. I'm thinking, yeah, you're going to pay more than Crosby, but you're probably like 36, 37. They went up to 40.
Well, and knowing that Crosby should at least be 38 then, if that's what the market is now.
Crosby's a beast.
Well, that's why nobody wants to be the first one to sign anymore. They want to wait. Who's gonna set the market? Who's gonna set that benchmark?
That's what all the players say now. I'm not worried about the contract. They'll figure it out at some point. They don't even bitch and complain about the contract because you don't want to be first.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Just to clean a little more league cleanup. Ronnie Stanley, 3 years, $60 million going back to the Ravens. I know Titans fans had him on their radar a little bit. I think we'll touch on that a little bit though. Hollywood Brown, 1 more year with the $11 million with the Chiefs staying there.
I wonder if there was like an asterisk to that though, because you got to think that was right after the news broke or got released about Xavier Worthy. So I wonder if the Chiefs are like,
it already came up that he's not getting charged.
Worthy's getting off.
Let me finish. So Xavier Worthy's news broke, and then like an hour later, news broke about Marquise Brown getting re-signed, and then the next day they said, oh, it's not gonna, no jail time or nothing like that, no charges. So I wonder if cheap 1 year, hey, we need to figure something out, sign with us 1 more year kind of deal.
What's with old boy that got hurt last year? Doesn't he have some legal shit pending too?
I feel the Chiefs at this point know
Rasheed Rice has been through up and down some bull crap all over the place.
I'm pretty sure that he knows, like the Chiefs know at this point that they're completely untouchable and that the league's not going to do anything to intervene. So I don't think there was any chance of them signing that just because. I mean, Rasheed Rice caused a 5-car accident going like 200 on the interstate or something like that
in a rental car,
and then he got arrested.
He almost pulled a Henry Rugg.
Well, he got arrested, and then he gets out on bail, and then goes to a club and punches a photographer in the face while out on bail, and like nothing's happened
with these kids, man. It's like once you're a millionaire, like you need to act a different way.
I mean, half of them. I mean,
because all eyes are on you now.
He's going to be like what's his name from fucking Too Fast Too Furious with the trailer. He got the little trailer outside. This is my home. That's why I
parked so close to the football stadium.
Yeah. It's
first
so
guy
crazy.
playing with the ankle bracelet in an NFL game.
Yeah. Oh,
that's why I say the NBA figured it out. They force all their rookies to go through like a seminar of shit not to do.
Yep.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Hey, think about this.
You know, honestly, I'm hoping that the whole NIL thing maybe cleans that up because now they've had money before they get there. You know what I mean? Hey, let me get my dumb mistakes out of the way before I get to the league.
You don't have a bunch of Johnny Manziels running around.
Now, you do understand that's the whole reason why Travis Hunter is going to be drafted so damn high because he's had money and he seems like he's just not fucking up.
Don't get Isaiah started on Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter.
We don't have time for that one.
Travis Hunter is the worst player in the draft.
Every game, dude.
He's not the best at either position that he plays. He has Hall of Fame stamina with like decent stuff everywhere else.
Bro, this sounds like a porn star. Hall of Fame stamina? Really? That's what we're going with?
You know, he may be the Johnny Sims of draft prospects.
Oh, man.
Everybody recognizes him, and he never comes. But, like, at the end of the day, was it really that great? I don't know.
All right, last one on the league news. Josh Allen signing a 6-year, $330 million deal with $250 million guaranteed.
And no Super Bowl ring or appearance.
Look, man, you get a quarterback if you got to
guys.
keep him. I think. I don't know.
I saw that conversation, bro. You can't really pay a guy after he wins the Super Bowls because you won't be able to afford it. Like Patrick Mahomes should be a billionaire damn near per year from the Super Bowls already.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
your best quarterbacks don't take the money.
Yeah.
If we all know anything, being fans of these teams, how hard it is to get a top 3 quarterback.
Do you now pay Jalen Hurts $300 million just because he won a Super Bowl, or do you realize that it was the entire team and he just was there?
He's already in like the top 5 paid quarterbacks.
Is he
already?
He's like $40 million a year, something like that. 45.
Yeah. So what you gonna do? Bump him up to 50?
I mean, after this past go around, I think he's probably bottom of the top 10.
It's
now.
$55 million a year, and that's really not far off what some of these guys are making.
Yeah,
it's just the guaranteed money. It's the most guaranteed money you've seen.
I mean,
55 I think somebody in the chat today said that. I think it was our chat that Allen reset the quarterback market. I kind of yes and no because like Josh Allen is like an upper echelon quarterback. He's not down here with the rest of the people. Like him, Mahomes, like Lamar Jackson, they have their own tier of money.
There's 4 guys in that top tier, and then there's everybody else.
Right. So I don't think he reset the market. I think he was just like about time to catch up with the other guys.
It's just he was next.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All the other guys, they're not. Their market is different.
If we were looking at this correctly, Josh Allen probably already should have been paid.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dak's been paid twice.
If he was my quarterback, I wouldn't complain about anything we were giving him.
Dak is the one that reset the quarterback market, considering he's making over $60 million a year.
And he's in that tier down here. He's in that second tier.
That's that Jerry Jones stuff, doing stuff that don't make any sense.
Let's say that who the guy in the fourth tier? You say Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, and Burrows.
Burrow probably.
I would never put Burrow.
I would go
that
Burrow.
means that you do know Burrows is underpaid then.
Burrow, Burrow.
And he's actually gone to a Super Bowl though.
Burrow's not as good as they want you to think he is.
Oh, Burrow's amazing.
Burrow's best games.
Everybody.
No. I like to watch football.
Even I
watch everything, dude.
His best games, his receivers have over 300 yards after the catch. Like the dude, like last year, his best game of the year, I think Chase had like 190 or 250 yards after the catch in that game. Like he's good. He's not as good as they say he is.
But if we're being completely honest, Joe Burrow was MVP of the league last year.
Yeah, I agree. He put some crazy stats up last year, dude.
Without throwing interceptions.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think he is.
Last year tells you anything how much of a team sport it is because he was putting up 38 points a game and they couldn't win.
But yet the Colts want to go get their defensive coordinator.
4,918 yards.
Damn. That was borderline stupid right there.
Yeah, worst.
Maybe they know something we don't know.
They don't. Oh, no. I think they know less than we know. Is the problem?
I think.
All right.
His wife's married to somebody in the organization.
Yeah, gotta be. So, needless to say, the Bills aren't looking for a quarterback in free agency, and the Bengals aren't looking for a quarterback in free agency. Safe to say that?
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Yeah.
So we get to the
Bengals. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Did he even start Browning? You see what he did with
Yeah. I mean, he beat Jacksonville. I mean, come on. Come on.
So there's like 14 other teams last year.
Not last year. The year before.
Okay, sorry. To get to more team specific, Justin, what are we looking for the Colts? Needs, players you're looking at, got your eye on.
So with defensive back, that's my biggest concern right now with the Colts. Good thing is there's a lot of names out there that I would be okay with as far as the positions of need being safety and cornerback. So I'm just going to group defensive back together on that one.
Yeah, go for it.
So there's I think the number one should be Javon Holland, the safety from Miami. He's still really young. He got drafted back in 2021. So bringing him in would not be bad. I mean, I don't know how this hurts the defense at all, especially as atrocious as we were in the secondary last year. Some other ones that I would like to see would be cornerback from the Jets, DJ Reed. and there is a cornerback from the 49ers, Charvarius Ward. Even if I had to, if on the very cheap old side, I would even stretch and say safety Harrison Smith from the Vikings. Stretch on the old side. Like I said, super cheap. If you can't get any of the other guys, land and settle with Harrison Smith. I think there might be a little bit left in the tank to maybe hit the draft next year or see how the free agent market is looking in 2026. Maybe even some trades, right? Maybe catch a guy that just like broke his ankle and he's got to sit for a year, like whatever, you got to do. That's the Colts' top priority for me is the secondary. So those are some names that I would look at. To stay on that side of the ball, my second priority would be outside linebacker. There's a name that I don't know if a lot of people, football fans know this name. It's Dre Greenlaw from the 49ers. I think Dre Greenlaw could be a great linebacker for us. I think Lou Anarumo has some decent experience with linebackers that he can use Greenlaw. I mean, Greenlaw is not a rookie. He's not a needs development guy. The guy knows what he's doing already.
Before he tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl, he was one of the best in the league.
Yeah. So
and then
Greenlaw
he played like 30 snaps last year.
Yeah, he's good for a solid 10 unsportsmanlike conducts a year too. So
the only reason they didn't talk about him a lot was because he played next to Fred Warner.
Yeah.
Playing next to him, everybody looks human.
Yeah. I mean,
I think Greenlaw. I would love the Titans to get Dre Greenlaw.
Yeah, I mean, any team, he could help any team that needs a linebacker. I mean, the guy is pretty good everywhere. I think I don't have a problem with if they were to back up the money truck to Dre Greenlaw.
I don't think it would cost a lot.
He's going to be cheap.
Coming up with injury and not playing all last season.
Then overpay him. But I think he's the best linebacker out in free agency right now, in my opinion.
Especially with Bolton being off the market now, and Sherwood from the Jets.
Because Bolton was going to be another one of my favorites.
The guy with the Eagles they just re-signed. What's
Mac
his name?
Bond. Yeah, signed too.
He's Dre Greenlaw's moving further up the list because a lot of teams are filling their needs by keeping who they have. Just one thing I want to ask: had you looked at Justin Reed to play safety?
Yeah, so I have him right now. I said that name, Justin Reed. I think I did. I said Javon Holland, DJ Reed, Charvarius Ward. Oh no. So Justin Reed for the Chiefs is somebody that I do have on my list right here. I've got like 3, 6. I got 8 names on here. I got Justin Simmons, Harrison Smith, Justin Reed, Carlton Davis, Cameron Bynum.
Did Simmons only sign a 1-year deal?
Justin Simmons? They have him as a free agent.
Okay.
I don't think he's signed yet.
He signed a 1-year deal.
Well, I'm talking about last year with the Falcons. I thought they signed him to a 2-year, but
no, it was a 1-year. Yeah, he's a free agent now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the names that I would be okay with. But my top 3 obviously would be Javon Holland, DJ Reed, Charvarius Ward. And then if you have to go cheap and go old, Harrison Smith. Because I think Justin Smith's going to cost a little more than Harrison Smith. I mean, Justin Simmons.
Holland comes to Jacksonville, not just because I want him, but also because he's been on record saying how much he likes Anthony Campanile, our new defensive coordinator. And I know we just cleared out a shit ton of cap space after all those moves. We went from like number 24 to 7 in cap space. So we have over 60 mil now.
We're over.
I think the only thing for the Colts though, and I think this is something that anyone who's ever watched any offseason for the Colts ever knows. Are they going to be willing to actually pay people this offseason, or are they just going to try and build through the draft and not pay anyone again?
Well, the problem is we can only go off of history, and then we're expected to go off what Chris Ballard said, right? Yeah. Chris Ballard, knowing that this is his last year, he may not even finish 2025 if he doesn't do the right things. Like I don't even know if he. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. But the man came out and said that. He's learned from his mistakes. He's gonna have to like sell out and all that stuff and bring in.
That sounds like
an ex-boyfriend, dude. That's an ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. It's the same thing that every coach or every GM on the hot seat ever says. I get it. It's just word salad at this point.
Baby, I'm gonna be different.
All we can do, exactly. I cheated on you 4 times, but I'm not gonna do it again.
That's not who I am.
Yeah, right. I'd never hurt you. As she has a black eye. Right? Yeah. But
we don't support
what sucks
domestic violence. I'm just saying.
The only thing that I can go off is what Chris Ballard said. So if he's really going to mean that, which when he would have had his press conference, he had the fear of God in him. Like you could tell they just told him, this is it. We are done with you if you can't deliver. So I think he's actually going to try this time and not just like have an empty sheet of paper. All right, this is who I'm signing. You know, a bunch of nobody.
At this point, you have to look at it like, yeah, the Giants too, because they're on their last wheel.
Yeah.
Go make this team good or get gone. So
Yeah.
who cares
So,
if the picks are there next year because you're not going to be here unless
yeah.
you do something about it.
I have to ask you something with that. Well, with all of the changes, the defense needing to be fixed, bringing a new defensive coordinator, does anyone in Indianapolis really think they found their quarterback?
So I don't think so. I think that the jury's still out on Anthony Richardson because he's shown little signs. But that the thing is, it hasn't been consistent. I'm not going to trust the last couple games of seeing good production from him. Oh, I'm not going to trust one drive that just looked amazing. Like I'm not going to trust that. I
Have you
trust
seen a good
consistency.
full game from him?
I have not.
I didn't either. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
Anybody who says, "Oh, Anthony Richardson is the future," they're fooling themselves. They're just going off, "Oh, we drafted him high. He's got to be our guy." And I get it. Look, Chris Ballard, you want to believe in him because you drafted him. And nobody wants to have egg on their face and say, "I was wrong." Right? Nobody wants to say that. But
not with a quarterback.
Not with a quarterback. That's your franchise, right? Not with a quarterback. So that's why I think that Chris Ballard is gonna try and do everything he can to make Anthony Richardson work. But he's only got this year. Him and Chris Ballard, they're tied together. Anthony Richardson don't work, Chris Ballard's gone. So, but
I know the head coach walks in there during the draft and says, "I can't work with Anthony."
If you're Chris Ballard, you have to listen to that. You have to.
So he
because
he needs to go find him another quarterback.
Yeah,
that's going to be my question. Out of these free agent quarterbacks, is there one? Because they're bringing one of them in.
Yeah.
Is there a certain one you'd like to see there?
Done, right? Did he call it quits yet?
I don't know. Needs to, but
I don't know, but I don't think he's got starting capability anymore. I mean, I don't even think like that's a backup, maybe, right? But if you right now at this point, the Colts need a backup that can come in and be a starter if Anthony Richardson just forgets how to play football again.
So who's that guy for you?
One more tap out, and dude, you're done with this team. You cannot do that. You shouldn't have ever done it the first time. As far as the free agent quarterbacks, now look, I know before, like, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I liked what I saw. Again, the same thing with Anthony Richardson. I saw flashes, but he's grown a lot as a player. He's traveled. He's very humbled now. Okay, he saw money and lost money. He saw success, lost success. He's publicly embarrassed himself on the field. Daniel Jones. So
Daniel Jones, I mean, I think that's a good backup, honestly.
Now he has long speed, so if he can break away, fine. If he can just keep his balance, but our offense is really weird. So Anthony Richardson, he's built like the dude's a tank. All right, so he's going to take off and run, and they've built some offensive plays for that. Now Daniel Jones isn't like super like muscular and built, but he's a big guy. And if he can get away, if he can get open, he can get away. But I don't think that you should be making plays for Daniel Jones to take off and run.
You shouldn't be making any for a quarterback. Me personally, unless you got Lamar Jackson, or Cam Newton, you shouldn't be making plays for your quarterback to run.
Anthony Richardson is not that guy. I'm a traditionalist in the quarterback. Like running should be a secondary skill to throwing the ball. So
self-preservation needs to be second.
Yes. Don't take stupid hits. No, I'm with you. That if that's your franchise, you got to protect yourself. I don't think so. Obviously, Sam Darnold's the big name. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. But I don't think that he's gonna come in. I don't think they're gonna spend that money because Sam Darnold is wanting to start day one, and the Colts do not offer that. Yes. It took him a while to mature, which is why like the Daniel Jones thing isn't crazy for me because I think he matured a little bit and like I said, got a little slice of that humble pie. But we're not going to go after Daniel Jones just for Sam Darnold, excuse me, because he wants to come in and start day one, and Chris Ballard's not doing that.
Now, Justin, when it was thinking about it, I've been thinking about this for a while. How come Jameis Winston isn't an option?
So I have Justin Fields next, and then Jameis Winston after that. I think Justin Fields has grown a lot as a quarterback. His accuracy for me was never a problem. I don't have a problem with that. Now his deep ball and everything like okay, it had a little work. Justin Fields came into the league after playing with some of the best receivers in college football, right? And so that kind of hurts some of these guys. Right. It kind of hurts some of these guys. But I think Justin Fields could come in and be an amazing backup quarterback who could step in and win the Colts some games, just like he did in Pittsburgh. I mean, I would love for them to go out and pursue Justin Fields. Jameis
think if
Winston
you
has
go
that
into
experience.
training camp with those two guys competing, I think Justin Fields comes out on top.
He possibly could. He possibly could. The only reason he would lose that is because the Chris Ballard effect, because he drafted him and he has to make Anthony Richardson work.
What I was about to say is, do you think that even if Justin Fields were to come in and outperform Anthony Richardson, do you think he would even get the start either way? Just like in Steeler land, like he played really good for the Steelers at the start of the season.
That's part of the reason why I don't think Justin Fields will go to the Colts. Right now, Justin Fields is in an open lane to possibly start.
That's what he wants.
Yep. The Jets and Pittsburgh are his two options to possibly start.
He's not going to want to sit there and wait for Anthony Richardson to mess up.
No,
because
it won't take long, to be fair.
Well, we don't know that.
Jameis Winston's been a backup, and he's been a good backup, and he's been a good teammate. Yeah. And I think he knows he's been in the NFL long enough that he can watch Anthony Richardson and be like, "Oh, this motherfucker's finna implode."
On that note, there's a certain.
Let me go ahead and warm up a little bit.
There's a tier of guys.
He's like, I've been there. I made that same mistake.
If you're signing a backup, there's a tier there. Like, there's these guys above that. They're like, I'm not coming to be a backup. Whether they should or should not. Like Russell Wilson's not going to be like, I'm going to go be a backup.
No,
Aaron Rodgers, you got the Jameses, the Marcus Mariotas, the Daniel Jones. But okay. So we can move on to Duval's finest. Isaiah, what are you looking for in free agency, brother?
Safety. I think Javon Holland or Justin Reed should be our top priorities in terms of safety. I do think our number one priority, though, should be signing Drew Dahlman from the Falcons, as long as he does not get re-signed. Mm-hmm. I don't trust drafting a center and just hoping they work out. And Luke Fortner most certainly is not the answer. He's fucking terrible. He couldn't push his way out of a wet paper bag that was already open. Like the dude is terrible. And I trust the new coaching staff, and they have some guys on there that have done really good work with like making guys good centers and just good offensive line work. But I just don't trust him. I think Drew Dahlman should be our number one priority in free agency. I do think we should make a run at a guy like a Josh Sweat or a Von Miller, James Houston.
Von Miller might retire, right?
I don't know.
He needs to.
You would think he would have already. But I like just and that's just the type of guy I'm looking for. Somebody who's been in the league. They've had good sack years. I apparently we are tied to James Houston in some sort of way, is what I'm hearing. Which I wouldn't be upset about at all. We need a third.
Come in and teach.
Yeah, so he can come in and teach. He's a third pass rusher that's not going to be upset with only getting 40 to 50 to 60% of snaps. Like he's probably going to be a 40 type of guy, or 50. He's switching in and out with both sides because he's shown he can do it at a high level in the past. And he's got a lot of experience. I would love to see that. Linebackers, I think we're kind of good at linebacker. Corner, I'd love to see us bring in Tre'Davious Ward out of Detroit as well. Yeah. I think he is a great scrappy corner to put opposite of Tyson Campbell. I think something that I'm interested in, we talked about on the show. So apparently we're moving Savage back down to slot. And so with that being said, that means more than likely Jarian Jones is going to play opposite of him, of Campbell. But my issue is, can Campbell play both sides of the football or not? Because ever since he was drafted in Jacksonville, he has only played on the left side of the defense the entire time. Really? He has never taken that I know of. Well, like if you're looking at the defense, but technically if you're on the defensive side, he'd be the right cornerback. I don't know that I've ever seen him take a snap from the left cornerback position. Never. In his 4 years in the NFL, 5 years in the NFL so far.
There's a lot of guys that can't.
Yeah, and
they just can't.
And it's fine if you get a guy on the opposite side who can play both or is better at left, but then if somebody gets hurt, you got the same problem where you got to make sure the other person can, or that's kind of the problem we're having. It's like people get upset at Monteric Brown last year and the year before because he comes in, a guy who was drafted in the fucking 6th round, and he gets put on like he gets put out there in the field, and you got guys like Devontae Adams and Jamar Chase and other guys lining up against him because we don't fucking switch Tyson Campbell, our number 1 corner, back and forth. Like, that tells me that he can't play from the other side.
You need somebody who's going to follow those toppers.
We need a very strong corner on the other side, and I'd be willing to give Tre'Davious Ward pretty much not whatever he wants, but I'd be willing to throw the bag at him.
Both of y'all have said corner, and I know he has tackling issues, but neither of y'all said Asante Samuel Jr.
So
his biggest down is his tackling, and he's not great in the press. But he's gotten better. His tackling is always, but he's been good at coverage.
He's just not the guy I would want personally. Like I know he's on the list. If I'm picking though from the guys on the list, I know that he's not technically a free agent, but I know Jair Alexander is allegedly being shopped.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that I'd be willing to trade for and throw a little bit of money his way. Tre'Davious Ward's my number 1 though. If I were to be going into free agency alone,
Justin DJ Reed. I think he's a beast. I think he's
DJ Reed. Yeah. Honestly. I like DJ Reed. I don't know. Asante Samuel, I don't know.
I can't believe the Jets are letting him go.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're playing on fans' Sauce, I guess. But I mean, he's just as good as Sauce to me.
Actually, personally, from what I've seen with Sauce, and then the fact that I'm a U of H alumni and watching him play,
Sauce is overrated.
Sauce is not physical.
Go Cougs.
DJ is. Sauce don't want contact. He really doesn't. He love to float out there in the air and just cover you.
Yeah. Sauce is so overrated.
Yeah. He's looking for the pick every time.
Yeah, y'all notice that ever since they actually started calling PI on him his second year, he hasn't been nearly as good as he was his first year. It's because he's just like Marlon Humphrey for me. He's a more athletic Marlon Humphrey. He's gonna get away with a lot of PI. He's gonna pull you. He's gonna push you. And he's not getting called for a lot of it. But then as soon as he does start getting called for it, he falls off the face of the earth. Marlon Humphrey was a top 3 corner for like 2 or 3 years there, and they started throwing flags on him, and he's been obsolete since.
Malcolm Butler was that way.
Yep. Like, Sauce is good. I think he can be great. I don't think with getting rid of the coaching staff they had, I don't think he's gonna be as good. I know this is like off topic, but
no, we're on the corner. It's all good.
But but they definitely
Aaron Glenn will have him ready. If I know nothing else,
if anybody can fill in for Robert Saleh, it's Aaron Glenn.
But my issue with that though is he's got to be a head coach. He can't just hyper focus on the defense and single guys like that and do that. He's got to be the head coach now. He's got to do both sides of the ball.
Well, you'd be surprised what those 5 minutes that he can take out of practice to go focus on a guy, what that can do. 5 minutes.
As a rookie head coach with his pedigree and background at playing quarterback, he only has to talk to that guy for 3 minutes before he figures out, damn, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah. It's like Mike Vrabel trying to coach a linebacker, but he's also the head coach. Same thing.
I've seen D'Amico do it with linebackers.
Yep,
I've seen him go say a few words, and he fixed it.
Yeah,
because he's been there. He's played the high level. He knows it. Yeah.
Anything else you're looking at over there on the free agency market, though, Isaiah?
I don't know. Guard is kind of hit or miss for me. I'd love to get a Will Fries in.
I would love a Will Fries too.
He's going to cost.
And that's the thing though. We can afford to pay somebody. But I think that we're either going to pay a center or we're going to pay a guard. We're not going to pay both. And so depending on if we're negotiating with both, whoever we get first, that's the one we're taking. I don't think we can afford to pay Fries and Dahlman. But
Isaiah, I'm gonna say it now. You're gonna laugh at me when I say it. Shaq Mason's a free agent.
Nope.
You know how they like to stay in division. You know, we just recycle.
They should have sent his ass to us when they gave us a 5th round pick for Kirk. I don't want him. They had their chance. They could have sweetened the pot. They could have said, "Oh, look at this 2026 5th round pick and a Shaq Mason. Have a great day." They could have done it. They didn't. I'm good.
I know we've talked about this. How you're you want T-Mac, right?
So my position on that has changed.
Okay.
If T-Mac is there at 5, I think you take T-Mac.
Okay.
Unless the Jets or the Saints are willing to trade up with us, then I think we get
Golden or something, or Luther Burden.
Tyler Warren.
Oh, okay.
Because the only tight end on our roster now
Strange.
Brenton Strange.
Yeah.
Solid
yeah.
though. Solid.
And
Bye-bye, Evan Ingram.
Tyler Warren comes in. Liam Cohen showed in Kentucky when he was there. He showed and with the Buccaneers. He likes his 2 and 3 tight end sets. I think Tyler Warren, and for anybody that doesn't know how to listen and understand what people say, Tyler Warren is probably the closest thing to Gronk we're going to see for a little bit. Now, I'm not saying that Tyler Warren is Gronk.
Right.
I'm not saying Tyler Warren will be Gronk, but he's 6'6", 6'5". He's 257, 264 pounds, something like that. He ran like a 4.7. He's a fantastic blocker. He can line up in the backfield. He can split out wide. He's got great hands, big body, and he runs well through contact. Now, again, not saying he will be Gronk, but if you're looking for that prototypical build where they have the athleticism plus the size and you want a 2 to 3 tight set, he's the perfect pick there.
You love when you say like comparisons like that, and you have to like, back yourself up, because I say stuff like when I would talk about Shedeur, I'm like, he's Joe Burrow like. I'm not saying he's Joe Burrow at all. I'm saying he has.
Don't you ever disrespect Joe Burrow like that.
See, now you're doing what just what you said.
That man isn't Joe Burrow Kindle. Like that dude
is. If Joe Burrow's strengths are accuracy, timing, anticipation, that's what Shedeur's strengths are.
Shedeur ain't got no strength.
You know that sounds like CJ, right? That's the same thing.
They said about they compare Shedeur to CJ too. I've seen comparisons.
I can see that.
No, the reason I asked you about T-Mac and stuff, just because we're on free agency, is wide receiver on your radar. I mean, Kirk is gone. Gabe Davis sucks.
Allegedly, we're tied to Cooper Kupp first, Chris Godwin second. So the main reasoning for that is they believe Godwin's going to re-sign is the problem. They think Godwin's going to re-sign with the Bucs, which makes sense. You get another year with Baker and Mike Evans. He's coming back healthy. He's played there his whole career.
Yeah, but the Jalen McMillan blowing up like that, do you need him?
But I mean, I will tell you this. I have heard that he does want to stay in Florida.
Yeah, I know he wants to stay in Florida.
Okay.
He does want to stay in Florida.
But you also got to think.
So he's going to be a Dolphin?
No, that's actually a real possibility. I know Tyreek's talked about moving on and going somewhere else. If they were to move off from Tyreek, they could even send him to Tampa. I mean, potentially, but like if they were to move on from Tyreek, they would probably try and get a Godwin if he wants to stay in Florida. But Cooper Kupp has apparently been tied to us. They just signed Devontae, so they're definitely not wanting to keep him as well on that contract.
Mm-hmm. Cooper's gone.
If we were to get
depending on was $32 million cap him.
What's up?
It was $32 million. He was going to be towards the cap this year.
Who, Kupp?
Yeah.
It's expensive.
He's gone.
That's apparently the only thing that's holding up the trade right now, according to my guy who knows some people.
Nobody wants that money.
Is Jacksonville apparently has like the compensation figured out? It's the actual like who's taking what money is what's a problem right now. I'd be willing to take 15 mil of it. I'll be honest.
You'll have to take more than that.
I know we're gonna have to, but I'd be willing to take 15. I would be willing to take 20 if I am guaranteed a T-Mac, a Luther Burden, or a Tyler Warren in the draft.
The thing is, if they cut him, they keep 18. So you're gonna have to do better than 18.
Well, then let them cut him. We'll just take him.
And it doesn't necessarily do better than 18 because you're getting a pick.
I mean, that's the thing though. They know
how much is that pick worth, and what is it?
They either get a pick, or they either get a pick and they take a little bit more money off, or they get nothing. They drop him and we go sign him for whatever he'll sign with us for. I mean,
minimum because he's going to get 18 mil from them over there anyway.
But then the problem of it comes into he sort of wants to stay in California.
Yeah, that's fine. But we also have
the Chargers have a stupid amount of money to give away to.
The Chargers, oh my God, they wanted DK, but that didn't happen.
Missed that bus.
I thought DK or Devontae would end up over there, honestly.
The Rams call faster.
Yeah. All right, Mike. What are we looking at for the Texans, dog?
Oh God. As much as I say, we are the best team in the division, but
with all that cap space you got,
you're the league's stinkiest piece of crap.
we have holes, guys. The first one, it's the obvious. It's the elephant in the room. That offensive line. I don't know if they're really going to continue to keep trying to play Titus Howard at left guard. They're going to move him back to his best position at right tackle. If he is, I don't know if Blake Fisher's worth my time yet.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's built like a fat guy that only plays video games. There's no muscle tone to him. He's skinny.
Me and you?
All of us, guys. Let's keep it real.
me and
That's how I
Isaiah
know
playing
somebody feels.
offensive line.
Let me
for the
tell you
Texans.
something. Let me tell you something. Flag football at work the other day. Boy, I was working at safety. I don't know how, but I got all 260 of me up twice, reaching back, knocking it out.
With the Colts, they need to save
Dude,
you.
I mean, my line is open, whatever your name is, and I take cheap deals. Okay,
But
I'll take practice squad money.
Whatever I look at with that, the offense, we need a guard. We cut Shaq Mason because he's getting paid a lot to be shit.
So you're looking at Will Fries too, then, huh?
No.
What, Mekhi Becton?
No. Aim lower.
Lower than those guys?
Lower?
Oh, hold on.
You gonna draft offensive line?
Aaron, what's his last name? Aaron.
Hernandez.
No. I know exactly.
That's way low. About. That's a lot lower.
That's 6 feet low.
What's his last name? I know who you're talking about.
Fuck.
Banks.
Aaron Banks. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I told you to aim lower. You got it.
He's a grader in the run. Like he could damn sure run block.
Well, with Joe Mixon looking pretty good, that's kind of what you need right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need a right guard that can do one or the other.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
When we put Kenyon Green in, he can run block. He can't pass block to save his fucking life.
Well, I mean, he's older, but Kevin Zeitler from Detroit wouldn't be a bad.
That's also somebody else we're looking at. It's like, but it's how much is he looking to get paid?
I don't know. You've been there that long. Take whatever you can get. 35 years old.
Houston doesn't have a lot of cap space to play with. I think you're in the negative, aren't you?
No, we're creating cap space.
Ooh.
We're creating quite a bit.
Not trading for Christian Kirk, you're not.
Oh, trust me, Christian Kirk will be restructured within a week.
He better. He's going to have to.
Yeah, because y'all took on all 16 mil of his salary, and we took the dead.
Well, that's because we can cut him right now and be at zero.
Yep.
Texans are $5 million at the moment.
At 5? Okay.
That should have been more than that.
That's still not a lot, though.
That should have been more than that. We should have made $9 million by cutting Shaq Mason.
Okay, that hasn't been.
Oh, that's not in there.
That's not factored.
Shaq Mason.
Cap savings on Shaq Mason are $2 million with $12 million in dead money. Unless he's a post June 1st, then
that's what we put him as.
Then you save $9 million. Yes, with $5 million in dead cap.
But then we restructured Aziz.
But I don't think you get that money until June 1st. You can go ahead and cut them, but I don't think
it's stretched over. It's for the
technically the final money. Technically, the final money has to hit the right numbers. You can technically be negative as long as at the June 1st designation.
It would hit June 1st. You can still use it, but okay.
Yeah. That's how the Saints get around it every year at $80 million in debt. That's how the Saints
barely make it. Man, I would never take that job.
No,
until that's figured out, dude.
Shout
out Kellen Moore.
Yeah. Well, Bleacher Report's got the Houston Texans at negative 355,000 until the June 1st.
Because they got some money to play with, and
so all our restructures that we've done, and it's been about 4 of them already, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is as of 14 hours ago.
I'm looking at us over the cap. Is what I'm looking at.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I know they restructured Aziz. That should have made another $3 million. Who else was it?
Like your most money, if you were to cut somebody and make a little money back, would be Danico Autry. You could cut him and save about 5.8 mil, but I'm not sure if you're going to do that or not. Danico's a solid player.
Hey, I'm actually on board with restructuring this contract. I don't want to cut him, but
the only problem with restructuring is eventually you're going to turn into the Saints.
Yeah.
If you just keep restructuring.
And then re-sign or give him money to pros like Taysom Hill that you shouldn't.
Yeah, that I've still never figured out to this day. But
so we're kind of expecting you all to be a little quiet during free agency, though.
A little quiet. I think you'll see more of us
some depth
extending
pieces.
Certain players on our team already. Of course, Derek Stingley's finna get the bag. I don't care what nobody says. He's getting it.
He's earned it.
Jalen Petrie will probably get a new contract as well to keep him from hitting free agency.
Yeah.
I think you gotta sign Petrie before you sign Stingley. Because if you sign Stingley, that's gonna make Petrie's price go up.
No, because what position does Petrie play?
Well, I'm saying as far as being a duo, going together like on the same defense, like you don't want to break that up. So my theory is you want to sign the cheaper player first.
Mhm.
And then once that's done, it's settled. The cheaper player, you don't want to sign them after because now the cheaper player is not as cheap because they're like, well, he got that. Why can't I get that?
Well, everybody in NFL knows that Derek Stingley is about to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. There's it's a given. So even with that being said, Petrie knows the number that Stingley's about to get.
Well, did you?
Yeah, but that's not going to stop him for asking.
That's crazy too, because he's terrible. No, I'm kidding.
Did y'all pick up
Stingley's really good.
Stingley's 5th-year option? Has that been picked up yet? Or that hasn't come around yet?
It probably will be.
That gives you another year to figure Stingley out, and you need to get Petrie done now.
Stingley's good. I'm telling you now, Stingley's good. Nick Cassera already came out and said Stingley's going to be figured out this summer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, what the best way to do it though, and this is just coming from a Jaguars fan who just had his first couple of a second contract signed in like 20 years. You take the 5th-year option.
Yep.
You give them a lot of money though as a bonus, and that way they get paid up front, and they don't care that they're going to have a low year in their 5th year. Yeah. And then you have a lot of cap space to work with. You spread the rest out because like everybody talks about Trevor's contract. We still have another year until he even touches that money. They've
really structured Trevor Lawrence's contract over the. He never really holds that much percentage of the cap. They did a really good job with that.
I think the max he ever holds based on current cap is like 27%.
Balky's an idiot, but he did a good job with that contract.
A couple of them,
that's exactly
I don't know if that was Balky though. They don't forget they have people in the building that is their job is salary cap management.
Like he does.
Don't give credit to Balky if you don't have to.
Capologist.
It slowly goes.
Is that what it is? Is that the name?
Yeah,
of it?
yeah.
Okay.
They have people that just cover that stuff, but like it slowly goes up over the
Balky or a GM thing. That's the capologist. Thank you, Mike, for telling me that. I didn't know that was the name of their job. Thank you.
This is Trevor Lawrence's contract. Slowly goes up. So his cap number just this year is $17 million. That's all he counts.
Oh, that's nice.
Cap. 24, 35, 47. When he's at 47 in 2028, the quarterbacks are going to be making $70 million.
And then
he jumps up to 78, but there's an out at that point.
Yep.
And you can get out with only 21 million in dead money of say 57 million.
If he does what Jacksonville thinks he's going to do, that 47 million year, he's going to get a contract extension that year.
That's where it comes into play because that's actually where the out really is.
Yep. So
not as big of an out, but because you're sitting on dead money until that 47 million. But once that 30 million jump comes in, you can get out. If say he does suck.
But I know that's how the Texans are going to do it to stay under the cap.
Yep.
Is they're going to pick up that 5th-year option, and like you said, he's going to get a $35 million signing bonus for that new highest paid contract. They're going to make 75 to 80% of it guaranteed, which is nuts, but it's what's happening now. But yeah, most of our traffic is going to be on making good with the guys that we have on the team.
Keeping your guys around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to try our best to fix that offensive line with everything we can throw at it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that has a pair of cleats, they're going to probably talk to about playing one of these guard positions. Because I think they really want to put Titus Howard back at right tackle. Because as a left guard, he's extremely overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a great left guard, if we're keeping it honest. The receivers conversation, I thank you, Jacksonville. You sort of answered part of that question for us early.
I think it honestly...
7th round pick for him, for a guy y'all were going to cut?
You both made out all right there.
Yeah, I think it was a great trade, personally. Because I do think that with what Parker Washington showed us last year and the year before, whenever Kirk got hurt both times, I think he's shown more than enough that he can fill that role if we don't pursue anyone else. I don't think he does it as high of a level, but for basically like $15 million less, because he was like a 5th round pick. So like if you have a 5th round pick who's probably making in like the couple 100,000 range per year right now. Like he's in his 3rd year of his deal or 4th year. Like you just let him play. Kirk gets Kirk off of our books. We got $16 million in cap. You guys gave, I think it was a 2026 5th round pick, or was it a 6th round pick? Was it a 7th?
7th, yeah.
Really? Wow. I didn't know
it's not.
But still,
you kind of lose all your bargaining chips. You're like, we're going to cut this guy.
Yeah,
we'll give you a third. Here's a throwaway pick.
A 7th round pick, and we got all of our cap, and we got a little bit of dead cap.
And the thing is, at worst, I can see him being the next Cecil Shorts.
Yeah,
Cecil Shorts was okay for us.
Yeah.
Not a real guy.
I mean, as long as Kirk can stay healthy. as long as Kirk can stay healthy with you guys, like he's still a great receiver. I'm not going to sit here and say he's bad or he's washed. Like,
do you know one of the most thankful things I can say about y'all giving him to us? He's not going to cook our ass anymore.
Yeah,
because every time we play,
that is his best game. Yep.
Maybe he knows how to play in Houston. Maybe it'll work out.
If he's on the field and he plays you guys, like he knows how to play y'all, but then
he's out.
My thing about his two are just non-contact injuries. It just gets me. But I mean, honestly, I think it worked out great for both teams, though.
Soft tissue.
Soft tissue injuries, yeah. Before I dive into the Titans, just want to ask a question to you, Isaiah. Talk about all the 2 and 3 tight end sets. What do you think about Michael Mayer? Would you be okay with them making a trade for him?
Is Mayer? Yeah, no,
he's available. They're saying he's available because they have Bowers.
Yeah.
My only thing about that though is, what do they want for him?
Give me that much.
I mean, if it's a 5th or a 6th round pick this year or next year,
it's gonna be. They gave.
I would give him a 4th for Mayer.
I wouldn't give him a 4th personally.
They drafted him in the 2nd, and Michael Mayer was a top prospect coming out here.
So my thing though is
they're not going to take peanuts for him.
The draft this year,
to get rid of him.
The draft this year is way too stacked on big blocking
really
tight ends.
It's really good tight ends.
Like, I mean, there's tight ends that were running 4.7s and are 260 pounds and 6'5", 6'6", all the way through like the 6th round. Yeah. I mean, if we're really just going for blocking, we can get one of those big dudes in there, or we can get one of our offensive.
I think Mayer definitely has some receiving upside too.
No, I mean, he has some receiving.
He's not Bowers, but
Mayer's not a great blocker. That's not what you're going to bring him in.
No, and that's why I'm saying like.
He's the only one who watched Mayer in college.
Yeah, Mayer was a beast at Notre Dame.
That kid caught everything.
But since he's been in the NFL, he's been a subpar blocker.
That's the Raiders, though. I think the Raiders
had a
not
good
using him
rookie
correctly.
season, but then
they get Brock Bowers and use him the right way.
Yeah.
But again, like that's what I'm saying though. It's like, why would I give up a 4th round pick potentially? We do have 2 4ths this year, but like still, like, why would I give up a 4th round pick potentially when I could pick 3 tight ends this year? You know, like all blocking guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's just I think we have 10 or 11 picks this draft. Like we have.
Bro, if you can get Mason Taylor in the 4th round,
Mason Taylor would. Oh my god, bro!
That dude in the combine, he was blocking his ass off. He caught everything.
Who's the big dude that ran the 4.71?
The big white dude.
Yeah.
He's a hoss boy.
Dude, he's like 6'7". Yeah, he's like 6'7", like 260, 270.
He did not look like he was running that fast either. Like.
No, the guy from Nebraska. The kid from Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also Gunnar Helm. I think he's one that's going under the radar a little bit.
Padone the second.
Yeah. Gunnar Helm's not a fast guy, but that dude is a possession.
He's a great possession,
guy.
and he knows how to block.
But that's just like the guy the Steelers drafted last year.
Oh, Darnell
from Georgia.
Oh, I think he's been in the league for 2 years now.
Oh, you're talking about Washington. You talking about Washington?
Yeah.
2 years. He's been there 2 years.
Yeah, he was a big.
He got drafted. He got drafted with Brenton Strange. Yep, that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going into his 3rd season.
Yeah, Darnton was another like big. The Gunnar Helm guy, like big, can catch. Like wasn't going to outrace anybody. But
when you're that big, you don't have to.
Well, no, I think honestly he's a lot more athletic than people give him credit for. But I do think they already had the established player in Freiermuth, who's Freiermuth is a freak. Yeah, that dude's a freak. Like they brought in Washington because he's 280 pounds at 6'7" and he ran like a 4.6 something.
Yeah. So Freiermuth was the top guy before Kyle Pitts arrived on the scene.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Freiermuth for years it was Freiermuth, and then Kyle Pitts had an amazing year at Florida, and then that didn't work out.
So a good like mid-round tight end, Jake Brenningstool from Clemson.
Brenningstool, I've seen it, and then Ferguson as well. Pat, is it what's the Ferguson kid's name? I can't remember. Is it Jake Ferguson as well? Is it Jake as well?
No, it's
not
Jake.
Jake.
It's
and what's crazy,
Terrence Morgan, dude, he's 6'5".
We went over a lot of these names in a past episode of this AFC South show when we did the combine review.
Mm-hmm.
Man, if anybody watching this, if you got some questions about some of these players, go look and see our reviews about them at the combine. I think you'd be very surprised. This is going to be a very deep tight end class.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Just to dig in,
I know my offensive coordinator is looking at tight ends, even though we have 3 under contract.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to add one that's. If he doesn't want to add one that's right up his alley, he's trying to be Bobby all over. Fired after 1 year.
All right, so digging to the Titans. I think it's we're right behind the Jags, like a couple 100,000. But we have 60 million in cap as well after releasing Landry.
Damn.
Yeah, we got 60 mil. The benefit of not having to pay a quarterback for us too. But offensive line, just like the Texans, is a big one. The whole right side. I'm with Ravens. I'm okay with bringing him back to play right guard, and I do think most Titans fans would feel comfortable with J.C. Latham, our first round pick from last year, playing either side. He can play either. He played right in college. He played left in high school. He played left for us last year, but he can go back and forth. I wouldn't be against bringing Cam Robinson in to play left tackle and moving JC to the right. I see him. He did okay in Minnesota though.
He did.
I got
okay.
him as one of my top offensive linemen. Yeah, Cam Robinson.
Cam Robinson's terrible. That dude is a fucking turnstile. The only reason that he looks halfway decent is because the quarterbacks get the ball out quick or they run away immediately. That dude is fucking bad.
He's the best tackle in the free agent market, dog. Like,
God, is he really?
He is he cannot block against like speed rushers. Never has been able to. Like, that's not me saying that because I don't like him or like I like Cam Robinson. He's a dog. He fires the boys up. But like against speed rushers, he's got slow feet. He gets beat off the edge. That's why the Eagles fucked us up anytime we played them. That's why the Texans fucked us up when they played them. That's why the fucking Colts fucked us up after they got Kwity Paye and fucking Latu. Like
he's better than what he's better than what we have on the roster.
Right, and that's the thing. He's better than what you have.
So, in other words, you mean the draft is really how you finna fix this, right?
Well, luckily it's a deep tackle draft too.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, I would not take Cam Robinson.
I'm okay
draft.
with bringing in a Will Fries instead of Radens and going tackle in the second round. I want the dude from Minnesota, Ursere from Minnesota, beast. He'll be a great right tackle in this league. He'll be a 10-year starter at right tackle in this league.
You may even be able to get a Dre Zabel or Kelvin Banks that level.
Zabel, I love Zabel too.
Hey. Zabel's gonna probably end up being our first pick.
Yeah, I like Dre Zabel.
I like
Especially
Zabel a lot.
What I saw at the combine, I'm a Zabel fan.
You're gonna have to go guard or tackle in free agency. One of the two, and then the other one in the draft. But we need edge too. And I'm not in on Josh Sweat. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's worth the money he's going to command. If you pull up his stats right now, I think the most sacks he's ever had in a season is 10. That doesn't scream anything to me.
Sweat?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he's going to get that much. I think he's going to get between like 6 to 12 million a season.
Well, Andrew, let me ask you,
he's going to pull 20, 25.
He's definitely not pulling 20 to 25.
I bet he does.
He's a rotational pass rusher at best.
Well, how much do you think? Hear me out on this. How much do you think Chase Young might bring?
I would love a Chase Young.
Chase Young's going to probably bring that. I mean, that one's not going to be over 10.
Right.
I would bring Chase Young in. Absolutely. He
still has potential to do very
he's never obviously not the player we thought he was coming out of Ohio State.
Right. Yeah.
He had 7 sacks last season, but he had a 14.6% pressure rate. He gets back there.
If he's there, that's what you need him to do.
Well, I'm going to ask, why wouldn't you call Joey Bosa for cheap?
He's already been reported he's going to go to the 49ers and play with Nick.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's not official, but they're in talks.
Yeah, I mean that's
Joey
what
Bosa's cooked anyway.
Well, that's why I said he's that old rotational pass rusher that you're looking for. Yeah. He's Jerry Hughes.
Odin Bingo, whatever his name from the Colts. He's from the Colts, right? Deo. He's from the Colts, right?
Obendeo?
Yeah. Does he not play for the Colts?
That don't sound familiar.
Talk about Odengbo? I don't think so.
Who did he play for? Colts. Yeah, he's been on the Colts last. He had 3 sacks, 8 sacks. Deo Odengbo.
Oh, okay.
From Vanderbilt. Yeah, I mean he's out there. He's a solid third pass rusher. But I would be a chaser. I know it's gonna. I think you might be able to get him for cheap since of the whole holdout last year. I'm cool with Reddick. So I think Reddick's better than Sweat when he's giving his all. Now, is he going to give his all? Is the problem. Khalil Mack isn't an option. I think for us. I think he's gonna go like the Commanders, somewhere he's competing for a championship.
Bro, the talk I'm hearing to Chicago.
Back to Chicago, really?
Back to Chicago. Wow. Okay.
But no, I'm big on Chase Young as a good number 2. Once again, we got to figure out a way to get back into the third round because this is a deep edge rusher class, and you could get a good competitive one in the third round.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
you
up there.
can't
Do we
get
get Abdul Carter? I mean, what happens this next week or two is going to tell us a lot about what we're doing in the draft.
Yeah.
Do we go sign? I would hate it, but Sam Darnold, please no. I think last year is the outlier for Sam Darnold, not the 6 years before that, where he wasn't great. I would love to go get a QB2, go get a
He could be
Jameis
the next
Winston.
Geno.
No, he couldn't. I have more faith
7-year
in,
breakout.
yeah. I mean, I would love, because I'm big on bringing one of those rookie quarterbacks in and bringing in like a Jameis Winston, someone who's seen a lot of football, can be a good backup, but also a good mentor.
You're going to be able to you could take a second round flyer on a quarterback if you wanted to.
I don't want Jackson Dart, man. I'm sorry.
Jackson Dart might not be in the first round, bro.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's better than what's his face.
He is Will Levis.
Shadur. He's better than
No,
Shadur.
he's not.
Shadur.
Oh,
I like
God,
how
dude.
Disrespectful, man.
He's a
He's not
Colorado
disrespectful
hater.
at all.
He's such a Colorado hater. He
It's
hates
not
everything
disrespectful
Colorado.
at all. Dude,
Hey,
he threw his first interceptions in the SEC in like week 10 against Florida. And like he actually plays competition. Shadur Sanders plays no one. The dude played D3 for 2 years and then came up to Colorado, didn't play a single team ranked above them, and they were ranked 7th in their division. They're terrible. They don't play anyone. And then he has Travis Hunter to go up and save him. He really
But
doesn't.
he's not good. You're saying Travis Hunter's not good.
No. I never said he wasn't good.
Like,
I said that he's
keeps
not as good as they
forgetting.
say.
I watched Colorado play football. Travis Hunter was not his number one receiver.
Shepard was out there a lot, and Jimmy Horn.
Jimmy Horn was his number one receiver.
Shepard was killing it out there too.
They played no one.
Andrew,
name a corner they played against that'll go in the first 3 rounds.
So Andrew, if you can't get if you can't sign a guy,
I can't do it.
Because obviously you don't want to stick Will Levis long term, right? So if you can't sign a guy, what do you say if you're up 201 and you're looking at Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers? They're still there. Let's just say they're still there. Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers.
No, neither of those two for sure.
Would you take?
I know he had a bad.
I know he had a bad combine. I'll take Will Howard over both of those guys.
Will Howard had a horrible combine.
A horrible combine, but look what he did in the playoffs against the best defenses in college.
Look who his receivers were too.
Yeah, it's not hard.
He still had to put it there,
bro. I think I could have put it there.
AJ
I like
McCarron
Kyle McCord. He wasn't bad either.
An amazing quarterback.
Who?
AJ
We're comparing him to AJ McCarron now.
That's about what it looks like.
No,
is that not what we're doing right now?
That's a whole different offense. That was straight running backs when McCarron was there.
Should we name off those receivers that he had?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Future Hall of Famer Julio Jones for one.
Okay. This wasn't the Devontae Smith, the Henry Ruggs, the Jerry Jeudy.
No, to be fair, yes, but he still had first round talent,
and that's what I'm saying. If you're throwing darts at it, how about Milgro? Would you draft him?
Oh yeah, I'm big on Milrow. He needs to sit for a couple of years.
Milrow needs to sit for the rest of his career. He's terrible.
God, dog you, dude.
Milrow is no, and 100%.
What players do you like, Isaiah?
Everything they said about Jalen Hurts coming out of college is actually true about Jalen Milrow. That dude cannot throw the football. He is 100% run first. He does not have a big arm. He is not a good passer. He is a run first quarterback who was good enough to throw the football for Alabama to try something different.
Well, he did not have a good combine either. Milrow did not have a good combine. Will Howard had a horrible combine. Riley Leonard had a surprisingly good combine.
Yeah, that was very surprising.
As much shit as I give Jalen Hurts is still a good quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's bad or he's not good. Everything they said about him coming out of college, he's a running back. Why is he that strong? Like, that is everything true about Milrow. Milrow cannot throw a football. He will not succeed in the NFL.
Fair enough. Well, I guess time will tell. Let's go ahead and timestamp this, and we'll check back with you in 4 years.
In 2 years, whenever he's either a backup in free agency or working at McDonald's, let me know.
Look,
he's gonna be the GM at one of Nick Saban's dealerships in the next 3 years.
I got to disagree on a couple. His deep ball can be very pretty.
When?
And he doesn't turn the ball over. Typically, he's usually really good about
whenever
not
he
turning
throws
the
it
ball
into
over.
double coverage and his receiver happens to catch it when the corners aren't looking and they run into each other.
They call it a skill when you trust your receivers.
Yeah, it's a skill. Hey, fuck it, he's down there somewhere. Fucking Big Ben ass. Fucking, I mean, that's what Big Ben used to do with Julio. He's like, or not Julio, fucking Antonio Brown. Oh, fuck it, 84 down there somewhere. And Brown would somehow come down with it. It wasn't because Big Ben late in his career wasn't slinging darts like he was. Early in his career, I mean, I've always said Big Ben is the greatest backyard football quarterback of all time. That dude looked like he was just always having a great time out there. He wasn't picking any defenses apart. He was just throwing the ball as hard as he could.
He did look like he chugged a beer in between timeouts.
That's all. Yeah, but love Big Ben, great guy. But
what?
This
Milroe motorcycle, but
no, Milroe
or a girl in a bar. like
Milroe,
great guy is a little stretching it a little bit here.
Yeah, Milroe is a less athletic, less arm strength Anthony Richardson.
Oh,
he's Anthony Richardson with no arm and no speed and no strength.
No. All right. On that note,
he is Timu Anthony Richardson.
I do think a receiver is needed for the Titans too. Calvin Ridley's like the only receiver on our team right now. We're going to bring back Nick Westbrook-Ikine, obviously, but
sorry, I'm
no, you're good, dude. Nick Westbrook-Ikine would be a great one to bring back as a number 3. Other than Chris Godwin, it's just a bunch of old dudes in free agency. You know, Cooper, Diggs,
Hopkins.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Elijah Moore excites me a little bit, but not as a number 2.
I've always liked Elijah Moore. I thought he never has really got his shine yet. You know,
Cleveland Browns, New York
Palmer,
Jets.
Josh Palmer has always had like sparks of greatness, not greatness, but being good, and then never. This year would have been his year to really step up because there's nobody on that team except for Ladd.
The Bengals tagging T. Higgins really kind of hurt a lot.
Well, that's our 2 biggest wants going into free agency was Trey Smith and T. Higgins, and they both got tagged.
Yeah,
so
the only
2 tags, only 2 tags that got dropped were on those 2 guys.
And the craziest thing about it was y'all were going to overpay T. Higgins.
Oh yeah, he's from here, dude. And Brian Callahan. Now to upset Isaiah and Justin here, I don't know how much. I mean, I trust Rappaport and Cameron Wolf a lot in their reporting. That came out. We talked about this on our show. I don't know if y'all have checked it out yet, but Cameron Wolf said there's 2 teams that he's seen most in on Javon Holland, and it's the Panthers and the Titans. And he's going to get somewhere between 15 and 20 million probably. But the Panthers and the Titans were on where he's expecting him. Yeah, and that was 2 days ago. A lot of things changed. But that we recorded on Thursday.
Think about what team gives them the better chance to win. Now look, neither team is close to like making a deep playoff run. But if I'm him and I'm looking at a 2 or 3 year contract, I'm thinking, okay, in 2 or 3 years, where can this team be? Like, so do you think the Titans in 2 or 3 years could be making a playoff run?
If you go Cam Ward, it all depends. I mean, you could, if he ends up being Jaden Daniels, or if he ends up being, David Carr, then no. I had to throw it at you, dog. I think you're getting a lot of mix. If you go Cam Ward or Shador, Isaiah, calm down, and they end up turning into something.
Trash.
I mean, your quarterbacks mean a lot. I mean, it's the most important position. Yeah. It's not everything. Like we talked about Joe Burrow doing his thing, but not going anywhere this year. But a quarterback can turn your whole team around in 1 year.
Yeah.
So, with the right coaching.
With the right coaching. And I like Brian Callahan still. I think he loved learning a lot on the job last year as well. But overall, I think he can be that guy still.
Okay.
So, I mean, for the Titans, more than any team, I think, because you're half the first pick in the draft, what happens in the next week or two is a big deal about where you're going in the draft. And if you're going to trade back and pick up more picks or not. And
it's crazy, but I think y'all are going to regret passing on Abdul Carter if you do. I really have that feeling in my stomach.
They're saying that injury of his isn't anything. It's nothing.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, he doesn't even need surgery.
Yeah, so I think if you take Abdul Carter, you just take him and you be happy for the next 8 to 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Having a guy
more of a sure thing than either the quarterbacks, but it's hard when you need a quarterback and
because you're gonna have, no disrespect, but you're gonna have a high pick next year, and next year we've got a couple quarterbacks coming out that are gonna be worth their salt and worth their weight in gold. You know, I mean, one guy, Arch
Who
Manning,
knows? Who knows if he even comes out though?
if he comes out, right? That's true. If he
The
comes
one
out,
like Clay Klubnik is coming out. Drew Aller from Penn State's coming out.
Drew Aller, I think, is my top guy next year. I think if Drew Aller would have come out this year, he'd be hands down the top guy. But hey, I'm not gonna knock a guy for going back to school and finishing out their degree or whatever his reason was. I'm not gonna knock you for that.
I like Klubnik though.
What I would say is all the guys that were in the draft last year, all the first round quarterbacks would all be the first pick of this draft. Every goddamn one of them.
Easily, yeah.
Even JJ.
Yeah,
I was never high on JJ.
He won a championship.
I wasn't either, but god damn it, look at the guys you had to choose from.
Yeah.
Cam Ward played balls out this year.
He played balls out, but I don't.
Oh, here comes Isaiah.
You see his face.
He had 45. Did he break the most touchdowns in college football?
But I don't. To be honest with you,
No.
I don't see the accuracy from.
You say
That's why he
45?
No, he played the half. He broke the record in the first half of the bowl game. That's why he didn't play the second half.
The most in
I
the
didn't see
season
the
ever?
accuracy from
I'm
Cam Ward.
pretty sure.
Probably the most in the ACC.
Every time I watch Cam Ward, I like him. I mean,
I do.
I'm just gonna say it. I like him.
He's
His
exciting
stats
to
this
watch.
year.
But let's not underestimate the power of the league. Okay, the
Oh, yeah.
best coaches in the world coach in the NFL. If there's a fault with the player that can be fixed, the league will fix it.
Yeah.
If they come in a little undersized, he needs to put on 10 pounds of muscle. They've got the best facilities known to man. They will, and the best nutritionists, everything. They will put 10 pounds on a kid. So if a
I'm
kid's
not
got
sure what the
accuracy
record is he
issues,
broke, but he
they could
broke
probably
something.
fix that.
It's the
Right.
ACC record.
The only thing,
Oh, is that what it
the only
was?
things you
Okay.
can't fix is the heart. You can't fix heart. All right.
You know who has heart and the NCAA passing touchdown record? Bailey Zappi. And that's exactly who the Colts should bring in to revitalize their organization. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but yeah, I mean Cam Ward stats: 4,300 yards, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's not bad. It's not.
No.
But he wouldn't hold a candle to Jaden Daniels.
No.
James Young's a freak.
This is probably the worst quarterback class in 20 years.
No,
it's not great.
It's bad.
Kenny Pickett.
Thank you.
Oh, yep.
Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, and the dude that went to the Falcons.
I think we all
Ritter.
just try to forget that class. That's probably why.
That one didn't happen, okay? I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
They didn't have
Kenny
four
Pickett has a
tackles.
Super Bowl ring.
Kenny Pickett's a dude from the Burger King commercial saying these burgers are so big, but my hands are so small.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Hey,
dude,
I wanted to believe in Ritter too. I did.
I wanted to believe in Malik. I was a Malik Willis stan when he came out. I was like, we need something.
I think y'all got rid of him too. I think y'all should have gave him a chance.
Absolutely.
Y'all did him dirty.
Absolutely, I agree.
I mean, we saw him come in and play for the Packers, and he played really well in those games that he played in.
And he didn't know the playbook. So
No, he had been there for like 2 weeks. But on that note, okay, we're gonna come back next week and review who had some good predictions and bad predictions, where we're standing, who's happy, who's mad. Remember Justin over here to the right, Unstable Kingmaker _DFF. Find him on all platforms. Isaiah Duval's Finest, Third and Teal. Go follow that show.
I hate
Mike.
Kidding.
Mike, the Real Texans Team show over there with Curtis. Make sure you go check that out. And then please come on over down to Titans Table for 2 with me and my brother, following everything Titans. And on that note, Jack suck.
wow.
Later, everybody.
All right, tighten up, boys.